In this episode of Generation Artex, why it's worth revisiting your adolescent journals, how religion warped our brains, and why Lori grew up under the impression that Jesus was a big bummer. Plus, let's get into the quantum physics of it all. Kim manifests the fuck out of a pair of glasses. Terri can channel dead pets, and why Lori thinks believing is seeing. Welcome to Generation Artex.
Are you ready for us? Come on, Kim. I'm interviewing you, Lori. Everybody knows I am the star of this show. Have we see?
When you think about this podcast and what you would want people to know about it, like, what would you say? Like, even this woman who I talked to today was like, it's a really great idea. It's a really great idea for something. And it's where we're starting. But like, why do you think you went to this? It's not just because we have journals. A lot of people have journals. Like, why do you think that?
Like
that
I
was really
said, I think we are coming into and living in an age where, why are you laughing at me?
Like I said, I say. Say it again. What did you say? Say. My sister say. That's the name.
That face like...
Like I said. That's how you started.
Okay. I think that we are doing the pendulum swing away from everything being glossy and perfect in Instagram, which is why TikTok is very popular, because it's very raw and it's very authentic and vulnerable, and that is what people are drawn to. And I think there's nothing more vulnerable than sharing your diary from when you were in middle school and high school, which people think was the most tortured time of their lives. Not necessarily for us per se, but we have learned that our worldviews are so shockingly different than they were growing up because of the way we grew up. So it's fascinating to us too to learn about what was in each other's minds at the time.
It's like you said, it's only been 40 some years since
That's
we wrote
not that long.
journal. It's not that long. And the idea is, it's like, it's a whole take. It's self-improvement in action. Like, we all got better because it couldn't get worse.
Yes, but it's shocking. It's shocking, especially, I don't know, like for me and Lori raising kids, like when Kenzie hears the way I thought, she's like, what planet were you on? Like, we're just so, the worldview is so different to be raised in like, Catholic school, blah, blah, blah. I mean, she's raised in a small town, but it's just so different when you remove the religion and, you add in.
Does she keep a journal?
Yes.
Do you think that 30 years from now, she's going to look at it and go, what was I thinking? Or do you think she's actually more aligned with who she really is?
I think she's more aligned with who she really is.
We grew up in a lie.
Well, we grew up,
in a version that we no longer...
in an institution, right?
But what happened? Some people don't leave that mentality. It's not like we had this big schism or we had this huge tragedy happen. We just gradually fell
to
out
college, and even though it was a Catholic college, we learned critical thinking.
No, because it was way before college. I know for me, like when I went to summer camp, a musical theater summer camp, where there were a lot of gay kids, and those were the first gay kids I met.
Theater.
And then I remember coming back and going to church and being like, fuck this place. They hate all my new friends.
Okay, so you think it was then your interests, in a way, like your interests. What if we were all into sports? Like, you know what I mean? Because you were interested in theater, that expanded your mind. You know what I mean? Like, we're lucky.
Maybe. I don't know that it was the theater itself. It was the people I was in theater with.
Yeah.
Were condemned.
Well,
You
what
know
about
what I mean?
Kim? Kim wasn't in theater. She didn't do anything.
Well, I know that my separation came around I think younger. And then I was only doing church related things because of the singing.
Who are we kidding? Lori was the one who was in first grade who raised her hand in religion class and said, you were talking about, so Jesus is always super nice and he's always he sounds like such a loser.
First grade or high school?
No, you said something when you were little. You said
I
something.
didn't like how well
Mary was not a virgin.
Well, okay, so we grew up watching Jesus of Nazareth. So I saw a thread on Facebook recently was like, what's a fact you grew up learning
Yes.
that is no longer true, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of different ones. And
Yeah.
one was like, Jesus had blue eyes.
Middle
Jesus was a
Eastern.
white man who looked like he was from
Right.
Seattle.
So you watch Jesus of Nazareth, and he's just like all the time. And I was like, he is no fun. Why is anyone hanging out with him? Why is anyone talking to him?
Why is anyone
So
following
serious
him?
and upset all the
No
time.
charisma.
He would
Yeah.
have had so much riz.
Yeah.
He'd change the world and have people follow him around, and
Yeah.
I
Right.
think he wouldn't be just a put upon artist, you know.
I had a real problem with Old Testament God. I had a big problem with all the soldiers who got washed away with the Red Sea, because I was like, they're just doing their job and they all just drowned. And how are their families feeling? They didn't know. I was very
So
upset.
much injustice.
Listen,
Yeah, it just didn't seem
nothing is fair in the Bible.
right.
It's just a collection of tales, folks.
We were raised with empathy. Isn't that what it
You
comes
think
down
that's
to?
what it is? That's what it comes
Yeah.
down to. We weren't raised with any kind of hate, and I'm glad. We didn't hate anybody.
We're still like in Catholic schools, and like it was still just so put on us nonstop that it was really it's like, and that's what we were surrounded by. So
Yeah,
that's
but there's
what,
plenty
how
of
we
people.
thought.
There's plenty of people we went to high school with who are still. They go to church. Da, 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 like
Yeah,
Like,
like
what
I have lots of good friends who go to church every week.
Same. But like what happened? I wrote an essay in high school about how I would never live with a guy before I married him. What did I
wrote
do?
it?
6 months out of college.
Why would you write an essay about that? Where'd you write that? High school?
Yeah, there was a prompt. I don't know.
That's such a was the prompt was about cohabitation with men?
That was the topic I chose. I mean,
topic
maybe
was,
it was
who would
middle
you
school.
never
It
live
could have
with?
been middle school, but I wasn't writing essays in second grade. So it was middle school or high school.
Yeah.
the thing that comes up in the journals too a lot,
Right.
and that you will find, is there's a lot of moral tension. There is so much struggle and like strife. It's not just like, oh, okay, well, I did this, I did that. It's like, why is this happening? And these are, and there's some strong moral values that are a little judgy, more than a little judgy, but
More
they're
than a
also,
little.
but they're also like, God, like it's kind of
God.
like,
Yes.
it's kind of like,
It's a
God.
lot of God. You
But
know
there's
what
a
is
lot
a
of trying to stand for our morals.
yeah.
We were
Yeah.
so annoyed with other people, felt so bad for everybody else, including like who didn't have our like beliefs.
Yeah, yeah. Like, oh, do they know it's Christmas? Like, oh, and we grew up thinking, I remember being second grade, like, poor Africans. They don't get Christmas. They don't get what we get. It's like the idea that the ideal life is this one kind of life is
It's so
so
patronizing.
Christian centric. It is so patronizing.
It's so gross.
It's so gross. And we were in it because I was in first grade, I think, when that song came out. And we're like, everyone's helping give money to poor Africans. There's plenty of Africans living a perfectly fine life. It's not like they were like, we need your Protestant values. They have
Right.
their own things.
Another huge running theme throughout all of my journaling years, which was like span fourth grade through 12th grade, I would say consistently,
Okay.
is this hyper awareness of the fragility of life.
Hyper awareness. How? Like you lost so many people in the flood kind of thing? Like you
No, right, exactly. Like I feel like I chose this life to be like, I'm just going to have fun in this one. And like, oh, because it can just go so fast.
I believe that to be true though.
What do you mean?
I do. I think so too. Like my journals are just covered with like everything's so good right now. Like how can this, I can't believe this is the way everything is. I remember saying to mom, I was probably in fifth grade. No, I was in sixth grade. That was my peak year of middle school. Everything is so good right now. Like, does that mean everything's going to be horrible soon? There's actually a word for that. When you think everything's so good that the scales have to balance.
Ooh, I need to know what that word is, because I have only very recently started to think like, instead of feeling like things are good, therefore something bad is happening, I need to start looking at it as there's a part of me that's remembering that bad things happened from another life. And I remember what that felt like. And because of the contrast, like I'm thinking that maybe it's ahead of me, but it's already behind me.
You're
and
getting
I'm
your
just- yeah.
time flipped.
Meaning it's okay. Like that time has passed. But that's why I'm feeling it, because otherwise I felt like the only reason I'm feeling this is because it's coming.
I see.
Right. So there's like you don't feel safe, but
I'm just
really
feeling
Yeah,
bad.
it's not
for Kim,
necessarily
actually.
coming.
I
You
feel
just
bad
feel
for
bad.
Kim.
Him?
I feel
Why?
bad for Kim. She peaked in the 6th grade. She
No,
said
no,
it
no.
last
That was
year.
my middle school peak. I've had that thought. That's been a running theme. Like, oh God, everything's so good. Is that,
But have you continued to feel that way about your life
No,
since?
no. But I am
See?
very hyper aware of the fragility of it always. Like, that is
Wait, so
very
you don't think your
consistent, but
life
I
is
don't have
great?
fear attached to it anymore.
Do you have, are you able to be hypnotized?
Yes.
I'm
I'm
sure.
very,
I
I'm
haven't.
very,
I'm not.
I'm very
I don't know how
impressionable.
quickly I can fall into meditation.
Yes. So
Yeah.
at some point we need to we need to bring in a hypnotist. I want to hear about your past lives.
Honestly, because I go so deep into meditation and I'm not consistent with it. I
You
will
don't need
say
to.
I am almost afraid to be a person who meditates every day because I feel like it's this super, super powerful thing. I'm almost afraid to go too deep.
What do you think will
Okay,
happen?
see, that annoys me then, because now it feels like you have an ability that you're afraid to tap into
I
because
do. I
everything's
think I
kind of
do.
sweet and pretty. I think you both do, and you're both like holding off. Meanwhile, I'm
Oh.
like desperately trying to find it and use it, and I can't find it.
Well, hold on. Kim said she's afraid of slipping out of her body, and
No, no, no. Well, maybe, but like the fact
No,
that
I'm not
she's
afraid of
able
not being
to
able to come back.
meditate that deeply, I feel
Yeah.
like she could astral project, right?
I think so too.
And she's just not trying
know.
to see what she can do with that. It's like, Terry, it's like you're like, okay, there's no way your gift stops at knowing dead dogs' names. Like,
Right. Terry
that's
has a
like
weird
that's
Terry
the
has a
cap.
weird gift for predicting or seeing people's dead dogs.
that was a phase, I
Not
think.
seeing, you are able to identify dead pets' names. And like to me, that was like, what is the safest, sweetest, like removed way we can introduce this to her? It's not even humans, it's
Yep.
people's beloved pets. No one will be too scared, like, oh my God, you're talking to my grandma. Like,
I get it.
you know what
So
I
what do
mean?
you think? The universe is going, let's just give her a little
Oh,
party
you're
trick.
choosing. She's
No.
saying you're choosing.
I'm saying you have, oh yeah, I'm saying the universe is giving you that as your like crack in the door.
You're
And
avoiding your potential, is what
yes,
she's saying.
I'm saying you both are.
I don't know
I-
that I want to be a psychic, though.
Meanwhile, well,
To be a psychic? Oh, God. The ironic
know.
thing here is that my fear and my sense of insecurity has always sprung from a belief that I don't know anything and I don't know enough. So the idea that I could know that my friend Kevin's first dog's name was Teddy out of the blue was very odd. But like my fear is I don't know anything. And
what do you,
what was
how's
it
that
right?
right?
What?
What your fears? You don't know anything about anything?
I don't know anything.
Well,
Okay, here this
ahead.
is the thing about I really do feel like I have a very, very strong creator power.
Oh, I believe it.
Not creator like God creator, but you know what I mean,
TikTok
like
creator.
TikTok
I believe
creator.
it. What's your point?
What?
I'm a creator. Sorry, go
I'm
ahead.
saying
What are you
I feel
saying?
like I have proven it to myself many, many times, but also when I found Theo's glasses in the ocean, I feel
Right.
Tell
like
that story. That
Okay.
I think of it all the time. Go
I
tell the story.
know.
We need to
I
hear
feel
it.
like that's my peak so far, and it's not even touching.
It was
my
the best thing to
potential.
happen to her since 6th grade.
Okay.
Hey friends, it's Terry from Generation Artex. Did you know I wrote a book? I did indeed. It's called Unfollow Your Passion: How to Create a Life That Matters to You. It was inspired by a TEDx talk I gave years ago, which dismantles the idea that you need one magical passion to live a meaningful life. You hear those. Air quotes, right? So if you're sick of the BS that passes for personal development and honestly think most people's advice is crap, this book is for you. Find out why staying in your comfort zone is actually a great idea, what Catholic nuns taught me about career, and how to get your critic to shut up so you can get some work done. Download a free chapter at unfollowyourpassion.com or buy it wherever books are sold.
We know you've heard Generation Artex, but are you subscribed? Hit the follow button wherever you listen to podcasts. That's one less thing to worry about and one more thing to look forward to. We'd love to keep this show going, and you can help. Please rate and review. Thanks.
La 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 la.
Okay, it was last summer. My daughter Kenzie's boyfriend Theo was at the beach with us, and they were on Paddleboard. Just they're both just like kind of hanging off a paddleboard, and it was high tide. And this is in the South Shore of Massachusetts, so there's no waves or anything. It's just high tide, like a deep pool. And he came up. They flipped off the board. He came up. His glasses are gone. I was like, I'm gonna find the glasses. They were far out. I'm not good with like they might have been 20, 30 feet out. I'm not good with like distances like that.
And the glasses are like thin wire,
Wire,
metal, like, you know.
wire and glass. It's silver
Yeah.
wire and glass, like reflective, can't see. And then hours later, the tide went out, and I said to all of our cousins and friends on the beach, I go, I'm gonna go find them. And it was all grass. It was all tall grass.
So you waited till the tide went out. You weren't like, let me help you find it and search for
Nope.
hours. You
Nope,
waited till the tide went out.
I wasn't gonna swim down and look because it's all grass and like high plants
Okay.
in the ocean.
But let's just say that's also wild because when the tide goes out, it can bring things
Out with it.
further.
I know.
Okay, go on.
So
And
you
I
said-
was like, I go, I'm going to find it. And so everyone's kind of like laughing at me. They're all drinking on the beach. They're like, oh God, they told me later. They were all like,
Stupid bitch.
she's nuts. Like, what's wrong with her? And sometimes they'd walk over because they felt bad for me and they'd wait around and look too. But I was trying to almost practice all the manifestation techniques that TikTok University teaches us. And I was thinking, okay, I want to feel the feeling of when I find them. And I felt that quickening and I felt myself going, I found them, I found them. And I just kept feeling that over and over and over. And then a couple hours later, like I'd take a break and then I'd go back.
you go back.
Yeah. So I'd like wander for like another 30 minutes.
But you didn't give up. You said, I'm taking a break. You
No,
weren't
I
like,
go, oh, I
"Forget it."
can't wait. No, I took a break and I was like, I can't wait until I find these. This is going to be so fun for me, for everyone to see how, and for me to see myself, how I do it. So then at one point I went back. It was probably 2 feet of water, all tall grass and rocks. And I'm looking and looking. I don't see it. And then I see one glimmer, like the sun is hitting one tiny speck of the metal of the frame. And then I reached my hand down and I could feel the arm of the glasses. They were stuck under a rock, one arm. And I pulled them out and I turned around to everyone on the beach and I screamed, I found them exactly like I had in my mind. And they were in my hands and I'm jumping up and down screaming. And they were all like, stop it. Like, not possible. It's not possible.
You hear the flute sound of like when Charlie finds the golden ticket and he folds back.
Yes.
That is
But
you
played out
practiced the feeling.
exactly as I imagined and felt it. I felt it was so real, like my heart was racing that I was so excited. And then when it actually happened, my heart was racing. It was exactly the same. And I was like, oh, look what I can do.
I tried to do that and look for my also missing glasses on the beach, but that has not been successful yet. Maybe you should come down.
That's what Mom said. Mom goes, you should go down and look. This was 2 weeks later. I was like,
Yeah. I looked again last weekend. It's been a month and a half. I haven't given
See,
up.
this is the part, like this is okay. Let's talk about looking for lost things because that is a thing, right? Like, and that was the ocean. I'm talking about where's my passport in my house? And I usually have it in a file called passport. But this time I didn't. I said, no, I remember putting it with I'll put it with my travel stuff because I like to get creative and try new things. So I don't
smart.
put things back in the same place.
I'm going to hide it on myself.
That's my strength and my weakness because I won't do the same thing twice because I'm like, let me try it this way. It's a mistake when it comes to storing your passport. So I was looking around and I was like, I know where it is. I was like, it's in here. And I took everything out. I go, it's in here. And it wasn't any place. I was like, this is now a wall in my day. Like, I know I'm going out of here. I can't go. And nothing can happen until I find it. And I hate when one object, on the planet, it stops your whole day. So I was looking and I called at the time. I had a boyfriend and he was really good at finding stuff. But I felt that his vibe would help me find stuff because he had found things so many times. So I was like, I know you're not here, but can I just talk to you on the phone and tell you that I lost something?
Use
You're
your energy.
channeling. You
Like it was
channel.
Saint Anthony. It was Saint Anthony. I was like, dear Saint Anthony, meaning my boyfriend Dan, please come around and help me find this passport that can't be found. And he goes, did you look here? Did you look here? He doesn't know better where I put it, but I had him on the phone and I went into one of the boxes. I always do this. I go look at it. I go, nope. And I just then I maddeningly look at the same boxes over and over. I took it out and I was like, it's got to be in here. I dumped everything out. It was tucked underneath something underneath, it was hiding. It was in that box where I thought
in
it
that
was.
same box.
It was
Yeah.
there. And I was like, see? And I got superstitious that I just have to talk to Dan all the time about this stuff.
The
That's
reason
not
is
it.
because he had no emotion attached to it, and you
He had
did. So
no
you were
emotion.
frantic.
That's right. But also, I don't look enough, and I will stop short of looking all the way, like kind of like you're digging for a vein of
Yeah,
gold
you
and you
have
stop
asked.
2 feet. Yeah, I don't go all the way because I'm sure I know it's not there.
Hmm.
And then
You
what
put your
happens
own
is
limiting belief.
I said it's not really there, and I said I already looked there, but I don't go all the way and take it out. And then it was right where I left it. But so many times I believe I don't have a thing, and I believe it so clearly that I don't have it that I get up to get another. I will be sitting at a table and be like, I don't have a fork. I don't have a fork. And I don't see a fork because I don't believe I have a fork. And I get up and get a fork, and I sit down, and there's a fucking fork. And I was like, why didn't I see there was a fork there? Because I chose, I don't see it. I don't have one. I don't have one. And I
See, if
go
you
looking for it.
believed that you had a fork, even if you didn't actually have a fork, you would then all of a sudden have a fork.
I guess, but I
You're
mean,
working
this
against
happens
your own.
so many times where I go,
You're
I
not
don't have it. I
seeing
don't
the
have it.
fork there
You're doing the
because you
opposite.
don't believe that it's there. So when that's
I
crazy.
blind
because
myself to it.
It's here's the other thing. The phrase "seeing is believing" is backwards, right?
Yes. Right.
Right.
And so, yeah, I mean, that's fascinating to me that you're like, I don't believe I have a fork. So you literally don't see it.
I
So you're
don't see it.
blind to it.
That's
But
wild.
that's what's happening, I think, maybe in my whole life.
Yeah.
Because it's confirmation bias. It's like if you're like, there are no Hondas on the road anymore, and then you'll see every other car.
It's called your reticular activating system. Like you'll look for patterns. Your brain looks for the pattern. And if I believe a thing, I won't see it. And I was like, I can't find my passport. And it's just so dumb. It's there the whole time. It was
Because
there.
you're saying, I
It's
am not.
put your heels together, Dorothy. You had the power the whole time.
Yeah.
It's that.
You're telling your brain, I am not going to find it, no matter what, no matter where it is. I won't find it. So you don't. Whether you're wrong.
Except I say, Dan, now can you help me find this? Blah, blah, blah. And
It's
he
only
didn't do
because
anything
you
but that.
believed that he could find
could.
it.
That's
He
right.
didn't even
You
do
placed
anything.
the belief in him.
And that's why you found it. He didn't even find it.
Isn't that what
Just where you placed
superstition
your
is?
belief.
Isn't that what superstition is? You attribute a thing to
No.
a thing.
Well, I don't think this is superstition, though.
What is this saying? Whether
So
you
what do you
believe
think it
you're
is?
wrong or right, you'll be right.
You're
now.
always right.
You're
So what am I
absolutely
saying?
right. Yeah.
You're saying I channeled by thinking Dan had a power, so I believed in
No.
his power.
Well, yes, but he didn't actually have a power. But you could have believed on your own. It's the same thing. It's the same Dorothy idea. You didn't have to conquer the witch and all that, right? If you had believed that you could find
the
it,
power.
you would have, but you were like, I can't find it, but if I talk to him, I will, and then you did. But
I
it wasn't him
believed it.
finding it.
You controlled
Right, that's
that.
right. I
You
controlled
made
it.
your limitation the reality, and
Yeah.
his, greater.
Like
Whereas
Dan was your like Dumbo feather.
yes. Whereas I said, I'm going to find them, and then I found them in the ocean.
It's always the right answer. Because I will say,
Whatever you
I'm looking
believe.
for, when I go, I lost my glasses. If I were to go to look for them,
Your
I would say to
glasses.
myself, no. If I went to go find my glasses in the ocean, I would say to myself, there's no way. And
Oh,
I will never find it. And it's impossible. And not because I like to be negative and not get things I want. It's that I'm so sure that I won't find it, that I wouldn't have found it. And like when I lose my luggage, and I didn't lose my luggage, the fucking airline loses my luggage. And as soon, like I will go limp. When I went to Morocco and my luggage didn't show up,
That does suck, though.
no. Here's what sucked more. I went to a wedding in Morocco and I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm so smart. I'm going to check everything I need except for the stuff I need for the wedding. I'm going to put that in my carry-on because then I'll have whatever I need for the next few days. I won't panic. And so I got there, I checked my heavy bag, and then they said, you have to check that bag too. And I go, no. This is the bag I really need. They're like, no, it's fine. We're just going to check it right now. And usually that's fine. When I went and got to Morocco, the big bag showed up. The one bag I'd packed to have with me did not show up. And I went limp. I was laying by the pool and I said, I can't. It's gone. It's gone. I said, I don't even know who to call. We're in Morocco. I don't know how to call someone. And I would go to call. I go, there's no number. No one's going to answer. And no one will ever find it. And my friends were like, no. And Dan was there. And Dan was like, no, you call. And Rachel was there. And she was just, my friend Rachel was like, listen, there's a number. You can call it. And I was like, I can't.
Because you made yourself helpless.
I was like, I went
You're
limp.
like, I'm incapable of figuring this
Like,
out.
I don't think I know how to get a luggage back. And then they're like, call this, do this.
No one knows. You just have to trust that you can figure these things
I had the
out.
luggage the next day.
Yeah.
Oh,
It came Well, it's 2 days, but whatever. I got it like 12 hours before the wedding, so it's fine. Yeah.
Oh my God.
That you can't manifest. If your luggage is lost, it's not because I didn't manifest my luggage in time. That's not how that works.
No.
No. And also there's the whole like, oh, there's a reason for this, that, and the other. So it's not like if
There's
you've
never been a reason.
Right.
Every time I've lost my luggage, it was a fucking pain in the ass and did no one any good, including me.
I mean, yeah.
Well, you
but,
don't,
yeah, you don't
what the
know.
reason is.
No, right, I
the
know.
point.
But anyway, this is a fascinating idea. How many times a day do you tell yourself that you're not gonna be able to do a thing, you don't do it? A lot of times every day, probably. Except Kim. Kim's like, I can do anything. And today she flew around. She grew wings and flew to Starbucks. She was like, I think I could have wings.
Yeah.
I think you could do anything. She's like, I astral projected and got a latte.
I don't
did.
think I think about whether or not I can do things. I just have things to do and then I just do them. And I don't assign,
Oh, really?
I'm not like, I can't, finish the
doesn't
thing
think
in
about it.
Excel. I'm just like, I just need to, you just keep doing it.
My my mindset has always been, and I remember using this most when I was pregnant, both times. But I just every single thing I've ever gone to do, I'm like, well, look at all these other people who do it. Like that girl on TikTok who's like, boys do it. How hard can it be? But not even about guys and girls, or how hard can it be? Boys do it. That's the line. But aside from that, but that's not what I always thought because that's newer thinking. But like anything I've ever done, I'm like, well, everyone else has done. There's no reason I can't. So when I was pregnant, people are like, "Are you afraid? Like, do you think about you're going to ruin your kids?" And the whole time I was like, "I am
Who are these people?
1,000% confident." Several people said that to me, like like just in conversation with friends or whatever. Like, "Oh,
Are you afraid you're going to screw up your kids?
ruin your kids?" It's a common
Ruin your
conversation.
That's a
And
great
I was
way
like,
to
"Do you know how
start a
many people have
conversation.
had kids?" I'm like, "Do you know how many people have had kids?" I'm like, "I can do it. It's fine." But that is how I've responded to almost everything in my life. Like, I'm sure I can do
That's
it.
a learned response for me. I go, okay, if this person did it, why can't I do it? But like Lori and I have the same thing about filling out forms. Like I don't know how to do like anything bureaucratic. This is stupid, but I didn't even file for unemployment when I get laid off because I was like the idea of having to fill out forms and stand in line. I wouldn't file for unemployment. I also was like, I don't want to fill out forms for unemployment because I don't want to define myself as unemployed. I now work for myself, and so that was my excuse. And then I didn't want to go do all the forms because I get overwhelmed. And I go, you know how many people file for unemployment? And like, you don't have to have, be super smart to do it. And then I think it's really easy.
Yeah, I've done it. Every time I've gotten laid off, I've done
Oh my
it.
God, I just wouldn't do it. I don't even want to tell you how stupid I've not like filed for claims for things because I'm like, forget it.
Well, it's like
And
how Lori
instead
didn't
of
use
saying-
to return things.
But instead of saying, Kim, you said, if someone else did it, I could do it. I go, why is it that everyone else can do it?
No,
Okay.
no.
Well,
no.
the difference is though, I might get frustrated with the form, but I don't not fill it out. I just have to fill it out or I ask questions.
Lori muscles through it with
I
1,000
muscle
questions.
through it.
She is fierce.
Yeah.
You do muscle through things. I just go, I'm going to take a nap. I can't do it.
Oh my God. I mean, I have to do that. The hardest things I muscle through is when, two different things. They're all related to my kids. One, when they would be doing Legos and at some point they don't fit. And you have no idea how many steps back set
What
it
doesn't
off
fit?
in motion. So Legos are not
Complicated.
like, we never played with Legos growing up, but if you ever, like, whenever I thought of Legos, you just think of all the pieces and you on your own make up ways to put them together.
It looks horrible.
That's how, like, at least Gordy would like to do it, right? But at least now, but maybe always, but as far as I know now, it comes with a booklet. So then it's broken up into bags, and then you open up bag one, and then it shows, bag one. And then there's a step-by-step where it shows you visual. If you have no spatial, this won't work for you. But it tells you exactly where you put each piece. So you follow the directions. It always fits perfectly. You never have to push or shove. If you do, something's wrong.
Yeah,
and
it's a science. It's not an art.
At some point, Grandma Evie would be like, I can't get this piece to fit. And you're like, something is wrong. And it could be 30 pages ago.
Right.
So you have to go through and deconstruct it step by step to find exactly where
That's
it was
probably a
that went
perfect
wrong.
project for you. That is an ideal project.
Yeah, I'm always like, it's fine. I'll find it. But the harder thing now is that he'll try to do in his VR game, a whole system I know nothing about. He'll say, oh, I need to download a mod, but there's a back way to do it that you don't do through the system. And then I'm like, and then I have to like find a YouTube video and then figure it out. It's a whole language I don't know. And so like I'm Googling things and then I'm doing the next step using words I don't actually know what they mean. I have no idea where to begin, and it's so upsetting. And I just keep Googling and trying every single thing until I
Well, this
get
is
it.
why I love ChatGPT, because I'm like, can you just explain this to me, please?
No, not for that though.
But hang
Lori,
on.
Lori knows she's about to embark on a new PhD.
It's like a whole thing.
Well,
And
right.
then every once in a while you'll find some blog entry by some mom who's like, this is not my typical content, but if any of you have ever tried to do this in your kid's game, but you couldn't link their Switch to their Epic Games account on their computer, this is what you do. And then I did exactly what she did, and it worked. And that is my found the wired glasses in the seagrass moment, where I am able to connect these systems that I didn't even understand, and then grant benefits, and then he'll be all excited about it.
That sounds so horrible. If I had kids, period, that's horrible. But if I had kids and they came to me with a Lego that didn't fit, I'd take it and I put it in a bag and I go, it's too bad that we have to. It's too bad that
Like,
we're
here's a
throw-
bag
we're-
of Jacks.
No, I'd be like,
spin
we're
them.
throwing it out and we're going to draw. And I'm going to give you a writing prompt and you're just going to write now. This episode of Generation Artex was produced by us, edited by us, and hosted by us. Our theme music is by Danielle Musto. Art and design by Ryan Andrews of ryanmade.com. Please follow, rate, and review to help save more Gen Xers from the swamps of sadness. Follow us on Instagram at Generation Artex, that's ARTAX, and visit us at generationartex.com.